say similar to what I said about how the Go Forward League name didn't really mean anything in the first
Anyways,
place?
we are live. Woo-hoo. Welcome, everyone. I don't have a animated... I guess I have an animated thing for myself. I could move this in the corner. But I don't have anything for anyone else because I'm too lazy to set it up. So, L.
Why does it have to be Booney Stare, man? I hate that picture.
That's the one I had. I didn't want to bother. I didn't want to make it up again. Then there's the goblin in the corner. Wait, why am I... No.
I currently have a Hardee's ad, so...
Yo.
I didn't get an ad yet.
I've never been to Hardee's. Is Hardee's like something good? There's one here.
We have...
Anyone know Hardee's?
I've never been to Arnie's either.
Hardee's and Carl's Jr. are the exact same thing.
Anyways, Booney, you have the podium. I'm just in the corner as the prod goblin, and other people are just the voices in our head.
I guess as of right now, nobody's in the Q&A wait room, but we can quickly go over some things that were figured out after, or I guess in the last admin meeting, such as things like SR cap and league format. We can go over that real fast. Let me open up the rulebook. The rulebook will be made live tomorrow after you get feedback from you guys, from the people, from the peeps. We will make a official live rulebook in the important links channel. But as of right now, we'll go through the big changes first. Everything else is the same, except there are a few changes coming up here. So, in terms of teams who run illegal rosters on a map, it will be an instant map loss now. There will no longer be like can you make a sub mid map here to make this legal? If you run an illegal roster, you will lose the map and we will move on with the series. That's just something that keeps the game moving along and makes the captains pay more attention to SR caps. So keep that in mind going through the season. We have changed the wording of the default map time or default match time to be a clarification instead. If both teams have issues scheduling during a week and a situation where no teams can work or can actually make the time that any time the week, the default match time will go into effect at Saturday at 8 p.m. CST, and that will be the match time. Of course, you can play a match anytime that works for you during the week, but if you cannot find a time that works for both teams, with ringers or not, you'll have to play the game on Saturday at 8 p.m. with the default match time. We've added a clarification that a pause can only occur after a team fight has concluded. We've also allowed mid-map substitutions in the event of a player not being able to reconnect to the game, so say an internet outage or a game crash that cannot be alleviated within 5 minutes or 10 minutes or so. The replacement player may either be a roster player or a ringer, but of course the roster still may be legal under SR cap, as well as the ringer must qualify for the ringer guidelines that we specify in the rulebook. Nothing important there. Nothing really important there. Mandatory playtime. We've added a mandatory playtime to the rulebook. If a player is present at a game, they must play at least one map in the first 3 maps. So you cannot say, I'll play you in map 4, and sweeper gets swept, and that player does not get any playtime. Every player that is present in a game must play within the first 3 maps. This rule can be exempt for extraneous situations, but those are very, very extraneous situations. Every player who shows up basically should have to play 1 map. Let's see. We have decided that the draft order will just be a simple snake draft. We are within our aroundish 1,000 range of SR for the captains, that we feel comfortable with a usual snake draft, so nothing funky like the altered snake with 1 round being non-snake and snake. Just a normal standard snake draft. Free agents are coming back to the league. With the release of Overwatch 2, we feel that people might change their mind and might want to re-sign up. Free agents will not be allowed if their peak role is over the SR cap of 3250. So, say you want to sign up, but you're a peak Masters tank player, but you say, oh, I'll just not play tank, you will still not be allowed to play. As a free agent, your peak role must be below the SR cap. Ringer adjustments. Ringers no longer have to be 300 SR below the player they are ringing for. They are now only required to be 150. We have half that from previous seasons. If a player is below 2500, you can get a ringer at 2500 or any lesser SR. So they can be 2400, 2450, anything below 2500 will be allowed. So basically a plat player and below or gold player will be allowed to be replaced with another gold player of the same SR. The question about if a ringer is legal, the highest SR between season peak SR and calculated SR will be used. That's a bit of a confusing statement, so we'll do a quick clarification. It's say if you are 3100 on the sheet and you are currently at 3150 on the current season, we will use 3150 when calculating the SR of the current roster. And if your current SR makes the roster over the 3250 SR cap, then we will deem it as an illegal roster, and you will lose the map instantly. So be very careful when using ringers with their current SRs. Whatever is higher, their current SR or their calculated season SR will be the one we use for calculating
Something
that.
to add there is that we will need to decide a system to translate Overwatch 2 SRs to Overwatch 1 SRs in this case.
We can just use the 1-to-1 system of Masters 5 is 3500 to 3599.
Yeah.
As well as Masters 4, 36 to 3699. That is one way we can do it.
Yeah, so that is something for people looking for ringers to keep in mind.
I don't think it'll be super big of an issue pretty quick here because we're like in like the immediate future because everybody's kind of like
Lowered right
a
now.
lot lower, but it's more for like future thought. So.
Okay. Multiple ringers can be used to replace a single player for differing roles if requested. If they follow under the ringer rules, of course, but you can get a player for each role if you wanted for that player they're replacing. You could have 3 ringers for 3 different roles to keep the SR cap manageable. That's completely fine, but all ringers must be approved by the opposing captain in order for this to happen. An opposing captain can agree to a ringer of equal or lower SR that the player being replaced despite the previously established ringer rules of them being below 150. So say it is an absolute emergency, we can only find someone who's 50 lower. If the opposing captain allows it and the SR cap is still adhered, that ringer will be allowed. I think that's about everything in the rule book that we would like to highlight. Everything else seems pretty standard, little changes. Okay, so nobody's still in the Q&A wait room, so we can go to the questions that are asked in direct messages if we would like.
First, do we want to potentially allow another day for people to sign up? Like a 1 extra day buffer? Because people are trying Overwatch 2.
We can sign up. The plan is to reopen signups at the end of tonight, at the end of this video probably. If you are listening and you haven't signed up yet and you've changed your mind because you don't hate Overwatch 2, you'd sign up after that. And I will probably close it on Friday around 9 p.m. PST, which is my time. So what is that? That is like
7 p.m. CST.
11 p.m.
Wait, yeah, 11. Wait,
Oh, yeah,
I
11.
can't math. Oh my god.
Yeah, you mathed, I think, the wrong way.
Oh yeah, I did.
Yeah, so around 11 p.m. CST on Friday is when we close them. If I have issues with the SRs because the SR system, the old Overwatch SRs are not always displayed correctly for some reason, they only just go back 6 seasons, I will either DM you or I will, if it's too bad, then yeah, your sign up might be void. I'm sorry, but yeah.
We'll do as best as we can.
Yeah.
With that.
Okay, so we're gonna open the sign-up sheet. Was there anything else before we got into the DM questions, or we think we're good to move on to those?
I think we're good to move on to DMs.
All right. So the first question we were asked was, what was the time frame we were given to change our name? This is, of course, responding to the Go for Watch League change to Aurora Esports. The time frame was never really specified. It's just that when we began the process after moving commissioners of last season and Kaber, kind of taken over the league for a little bit there, there were discussions of separating from the U. Those kind of started around the time of the end of last season, and then from there we kind of had the idea of moving forward we would no longer be associated with the University of Minnesota. So the time frame was kind of just from the last season to the beginning of this season. It was never really a direct time frame. We weren't told to leave. We weren't told to disband, but we just thought that doing this would allow us to not only expand the league past what is currently in Overwatch, but also into other games. So, and also separating from the U just gave us a little more freedom in terms of live streaming, in terms of merchandising and social media presence. So we just felt a lot more comfortable separating from the university and kind of becoming our own separate entity. Is there anybody else who want to add anything to that first question?
Especially with, at this point, before it was like University of Minnesota Overwatch intramurals. However, at this point, we've definitely moved away from that. I'd say 50% of the league maybe is actually at the U. We're definitely not. I don't think we can really be considered just their intramurals anymore, So I think it's like an easy move to make, and it allows us a lot more freedom overall.
Well, it also opens up opportunities for some sort of monetary gain in some areas, because something Overwatch does not like you having the word league in your leagues unless you are paying them.
Speaking of which, I'll offer a $5.68 prize pool to the winners of this season of Go for Watch League.
All right, time to try.
Buy like some candy bars or something for Halloween.
Yeah, not per person though. In general.
Yeah.
So you guys gotta split it.
Cat.
You guys can split it, but you got a little prize pool for you.
I think that answered number one. I'm gonna give a quick answer number two. Then the dog is barking outside, so she wants to come in after being outside for over an hour. Why did no admin think to consider telling the community before they provide a name change? We actually did have a feedback group made out of players from the league that were aware that we were changing our name and rebranding. They will remain anonymous, but they are kind of impactful pillars of the community so far. They've been around for, if not all of the Go for Watch League's history. So, and we trusted them not to leak any information, so we kind of kept it closed doors, but the community was in some ways involved with the name change. We came up with ideas as an admin team, came up with, Jay posted a list, like 90 lists, 64 lists.
54.
Came up with 64 different names and kind of got it down to, I believe, a list of 4 or 5. I think it was 4 at the end, wasn't it? Because we gave him 3, then gave him another option.
It was, I think 3 was the initial one, and then we were like, all right, we only like, oh no, wait, 4 was the initial one, and then we were like, we only like one of those, and then we gave them another 2 and had them decide from the new 3. So
basically, the community pillars were given an opportunity to look at this, and we took the admin vote as well as the anonymous feedback group vote and combined the scores in a ranking system, and the one that came out on top was Aurora. So that was the community's involvement in the renaming process, and I'll let you guys take over from there. The dog is at the back door.
Okay, and also with that, let's say that players didn't want the rebrand, right? Didn't want the rename, didn't want the rebrand. Legally, even if they said, like, if we consulted everyone, told them, hey guys, should we do this? Legally, we had to do it no matter what they said, right? We aren't allowed to have Go for Watch League as our name anymore due to splitting of the U, as well as just having league in the name. So either way, we're going to have to do it no matter what, basically.
Especially if we want to expand
in
some ways, because that's the main thing that kind of prevents us from doing other stuff. Yeah.
I would also like to say thank you once again to our feedback group. You guys were really helpful in this process. As I know we mentioned, we had 54 different name ideas. So like, aside from just us tossing names into a hat or whatever, it was really helpful to actually get some, actual feedback on it. And some of the members of the feedback group actually had like their own ideas for some names too. So it was like an involved process. One of the suggestions actually was one of our like top 3 at the end. So yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
I think that answers number 2, because the rest of them also kind of come back to it. So we'll just keep moving on and keep hitting the rebrand. So number 3, How's this different than the admins removing every role without telling us and justifying afterwards? So I'll take a quick stab at this, and I'll probably let Trey take this one mostly because this is kind of his specialty, the Discord stuff. But we wanted to remove the roles for a few seasons now, seeing how they got so large and there's so many to comb through as an admin team. We wanted to add roles or adjust role permissions. There's just so many awards from so many seasons that were still out there. So we look to remove those as we look to the rebrand, more or less to make the Discord change that's coming up shortly, within the next month or so, the big Discord swaps for Aurora made that a lot simpler to get rid of the roles and put them in that text channel. We are looking at including some roles back, but more generic. So I'll probably let Trey take that one from there. But some awards that kind of, I guess, are based on community votes, like All-Star and All-Pro, will be coming back in some capacity. So I'll go ahead and let you take it from here, Trey.
Okay, so essentially, Discord had way too many roles in it. People were having like 20, 20 roles on their profile, which isn't just something that's visually not great. And on top of that, those were Go for Watch League roles, right? We're rebranding to Aurora Esports, and it makes much more sense for us to start at yeah, I'll bring that up. Anyways, there were so many roles there with tied to Go for Watch League, right? So we wanted to have like Legacy, we wanted to make sure that you kept your achievements for Overwatch 1. However, going into a new game, new league, we wanted space for people to actually get more roles, that showed off their accomplishments in Overwatch 2 and what they've done in this new game, as well as new league. So from there, I will say the removal of Discord roles was definitely too early. This is something our time frame got a little messed up there, which is our bad with that. However, your roles are still kept. I'm planning on cleaning up the Discord. I'm going to bring stuff back, like a counter with how many times you had each role. So let's say that you are All-Star 4 seasons in a row, right? Or 4 seasons. You'll have 4 times All-Star on your profile. I don't want to do just like a generalized All-Pro or All-Star role, because then it feels like you're not getting rewarded for all the different times you got that accomplishment. So having it 4 times it'll be like 4 times Go for Watch League All-Star. So you're still recognized for those achievements. As well as another thing that I'm toying with, I know people in the chat, I know Paige is a big advocate for this, wanted personalized roles. So this is kind of something we wanted to ask you guys. Me and Booney were talking about this. Potentially for like server boosters, so like Discord server boosters, as well as anyone that subscribes to the Twitch channel, would be able to create a custom role for themselves. So let's say that Paige is a Discord server booster. She'll be able to say, do you have an admin, and say, hey, can I have a NECA role? And we create a role. I just thought of that relatively recently, so I hadn't brought it up with Fedora and Jamie, so if you two want to give your opinions on that as well.
That's gonna be a lot of roles at some
Yeah,
point.
I was gonna say it could be.
It's literally gonna become the same issue.
But
well, no. It's only that person gets the role.
Well, yeah.
Right.
Well, yeah.
And they can only have 1 role.
Okay.
It's not that many people either.
Yeah, it's not many.
I was gonna say it's
For
not
right
that
now,
many
it's not
people,
going to
but
be.
I will say this: it does actually reward somebody for, like, obviously helping out the community, either boosting or subbing on Twitch or whatever. So I do actually like the idea. I think that it provides a little bit more of an incentive aside from just being nice. So
yeah,
Give us
because
money.
currently people are already doing that, right? So might as well give them something for
might
it.
as well recognize them for it.
I will say
also
we are
prevents us from
going
making
to
million
need
roles.
to approve of the Discord role.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously, it can't be anything that breaks Discord
Listen.
TOS. And
I'm going to name my role "Ya Motherfucker 69."
No way!
No.
Wow.
Give it to me.
So yeah, if you guys are gonna come up with a role, don't be too weird. Okay.
At Lumpy.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
He's always our victim.
I think that was a
He's gonna
I think
make
that was a good
victim roll.
explanation. Okay, so number 4. How does the name Aurora Esports represent Go for Watch League and what it was in the past? I'm actually just going to read word for word what Trey said, because I think it was a very good explanation. So,
Aw.
the answer is, it doesn't really have anything to represent for the name. Before, a majority of our students, as well as admins, were part of the University of Minnesota. This is true. When we first started back in Season 0 and Season 1, it was only UMN students that were allowed to play. But since then, of course, we've changed. It's just no longer a reality that all of us go to the U or are a Gopher anymore. On top of playing for the university, we have next part of the name that tied to Gopher Watch League anyway, so we'd just be Gopher Watch if we were anything. But the thing is, Gopher Watch just became more than what it started out as, which was an intramural league for the University of Minnesota. And now it's a draft league for players of various skill levels to have fun time participating in and building a community of friends, basically. Letting people meet each other as well from other friend groups has been a huge benefit from the Gopher Watch League, and we possible without the old name, of course, but the name doesn't really change what the community and what the league itself is striving for here. We're still looking for the community involvement. We're still looking for the enjoyment of competitive play. We're still looking for making new friends as well as everything that came with Gopher Watch League itself. So all that Aurora does really is Aurora gives us the opportunity to take the league, push it into the future of our lives, because we won't all be students forever. There's I kept bringing it up. There's one admin who's still a student at the University of Minnesota,
Yes,
so
Yes,
we kind
sir.
of lost that connection to the leadership of the university anyway.
Here's-
But the goal of this rebrand is to allow us to go past Overwatch only into other games. Of course, next year we're looking into that, so we can bring this amazing community together through other games, as well as making new friends along the way. So what Aurora does is it gives us the opportunity to do so.
Yeah. I don't think Gopher Watch. I don't think that name was tied to anything at the University of Minnesota.
I think it was literally just because there's Gopher in the name.
Yeah,
It was
Yeah, we
made
like it.
because I needed a bad pun that wasn't University of Minnesota Intramural Season 1.
yeah,
And I was
then
like, lol, Gopher Watch League's funny.
yeah, it definitely
Look.
meant more about the community rather
Yeah.
than anything that's tied to the University of Minnesota.
And
So we're
something
gonna
I'll
focus more on
say,
that.
something I'll say too is when we were trying to come up with the name, we didn't want to completely ignore the past, right? Like we're not going to completely ignore like, oh, it's like mostly people who were originally students at University of Minnesota, right? Like it's a lot of us who either went there or graduated or whatever, right? So there's definitely still a big tie to Minnesota, not just as a college, but also as a state. So we kind of did want to keep that, hence why we went with Aurora. And hence why a lot of our ideas tended to have something to do with like snow or cold or something. Because Northern Lights. So one of the very few places in the world where you can actually see the Northern Lights,
Yeah, I've never seen it.
Minnesota. So yeah.
And then this is for Booney mainly. For some of the merchandising involved team logos. That's what Ruck Cactus asked. Is it like I'm
So
assuming
at-
he's meaning like for merch, like team logo based?
Yeah, what we're doing right now is the main plan is once we get the logo from, I'll leak it, we have Razmataz, the amazingly talented Razmataz, working on a logo for our league. Once we have the logo completed, the main push for now will be just kind of generic merchandise of Aurora Esports, but in the future we could potentially look at interest in team-based merchandise. If there is a decent amount of interest, we can open that up. But the only issue would be, we get 2 shirts ordered for one team. It'll be a little more expensive. So if those people who want the team-based merchandise are looking to purchase something, we'd certainly allow it. It would just be at a higher cost to them. But if they're willing to do so, we can go through and look forward to that. I also see in the chat, what other games are we thinking of? We are thinking of the ones that have been mentioned so far, just in passing, have been League of Legends as well as Valorant. What's happening right now is behind the scenes, there have been people from the League of Legends community who are used to be part of Overwatch have been very interested in getting some groundwork laid. So I've been working with them a little bit to get just some general ideas down of some gists of perhaps tournament structures or how we balance teams, just stuff like that. So the groundwork is being laid for those other games right now. But once we have more information on that, we will be willing to share. It's just at the time, it's mostly brainstorm. Valorant and League are on top of our heads, but nothing really concrete as of yet for what's going to happen for that.
I want
Will
paladins.
artists be compensated?
Will artists be compensated? Yes. The idea is that an artist who has things put onto a shirt order. So the idea will be to have the cost of the merchandise be just the cost to print plus shipping, of course. Then just a little bit of money going towards the league, like an extra $2, $5 that go to the league's funding, and then the artist would get about a 10% commission from on top of that. So say the final cost of the shirt is $50 for the hoodie, the artist would get $5 out of those $50. So the idea is,
numbers are subject to change.
yeah, it's all subject to change, but yes,
I remember
I do plan on giving the artist commission for their work that gets money for the league. That's the plan, at least.
Do we have any other questions in the chat right now while we're still staring at you guys?
Anyone in that
should we just
VC yet?
continue?
I'll be monitoring the chat.
We'll just move on to number 5 then. Who elected the admins of Aurora Esports and to be where they are now? It's kind of been a long process of many years. Of course, the initial admin team was created by me in season 1, but through the years we've been rotating people in and out. So throughout the years, it's kind of been people who I noticed have been helping a lot in the community. Of course, last year, Jamie and Connor were part of the admin team already, but that came from them being part of the stats team, helping with the website and stuff like that, helping with a lot behind the scenes. So Marco went ahead and promoted them to the admins. I saw what they did last year and liked what they did, so I brought them back. And then, like Trey was brought in because he was very involved with the whole potential rebrand. He seemed very passionate about getting this change done. It probably had nothing to do with him leaving the University of Minnesota and going somewhere else. But he was very passionate about rebranding and separating, and was always very ready to speak to me on certain things and ideas he had. He's always ready to share. So I was like, why not just make him an admin at this point, so you can stop DMing me specifically and just talk to like 5 other people. And then for Riddle Dog is our connection to the university. He's our anchor. He is the people's guide as always. So it's kind of an easy pick to bring him in because he's always been involved with the YouTube channel, the Twitch, making graphics. So, he's a pretty easy addition to have and to even out our team at 5, so he can have ties. And voting is always nice to have.
Bold of you to assume that.
I don't know who's going to be indifferent on a vote, and if you are, you will be kicked from the admin team.
Damn, sorry guys.
I'll just become indifferent.
Finally, back to season 1 and 2, the very base tyrannical lead that I had.
Let's go!
We all become indifferent, then technically we would all be kicked, right?
Correct.
I would still
There
be.
is no admins here.
I would literally just be here just to do logistics. I'll be indifferent doing logistics.
Free agents from season 1. Hey, does anyone want Crazy Flames? Or not Crazy Flames.
Crazy Flames.
Anyone want Corey? Anyone want him?
God.
Yo, bring him into the admin team. That boy's got ideas.
He's got ideas, man.
He's got a lot to share.
Alas, you hear it in your ear already.
Well, anyway, that was how the admins got to where they are now. Basically, I picked them, so L plus ratio.
L bozo. Just be commissioner next time.
All right, the next question is, how are we different than Altitude Esports? So the thing with Altitude is they were another base organization, or another organization based in Overwatch, similar to us. And that's actually where I played and got the idea to making the league was Altitude, so can always give them a shout out. They kind of gave me the idea to run Overwatch League, but we've changed from Altitude so much, that being that we're a draft-based league. So it's just how we're different than Altitude Esports. I'd be saying how we're different than any other esports organization. How we're different than C9. It's just we are our own thing. We make an Overwatch tournament, of course, looking to expand to other games, but we also look to sponsor content creators, just for the hell of it. So, look to sponsor some content creators, as well as create some teams of our own to perhaps play an open division. So we're looking to expand past just an Overwatch tournament, a very tier 7 Overwatch tournament, into an actual esports branding with an online presence, multiple games, as well as teams playing an open division. And maybe you guys are good enough contenders. I don't fucking know.
Yeah,
but
actually, no. Trey, you and me, we can go far.
Rory, I already
The
suggested
somber
that
sword.
sponsor. I think we should bring in the sponsor team, Bing Bong Esports.
Yo, let me in. Let me
Torbjorn
in.
specialist.
The Torb
Torbjorn
horse.
horse.
Torb's already go crazy.
I liked MJ's question in the chat. When does Yeetmeister become commissioner?
Yesterday.
You
When I
don't realize. You don't realize that he's like the shadow leader already. So
Yeah, he's actually the one that made every decision.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about the site right away, or do we want to continue with the Discord questions?
I think there's just one more Discord question, so we can handle that quick and then move
Isn't there
on.
2? Wait, are you on 6 or 7?
I was on 6.
Okay, never mind. Yeah, you're right.
Jesus, man.
I'm sorry, man. I can't count.
Hard.
All right,
There's a reason
so
why I'm not a computer science major anymore, and I went to geology.
I live rocks.
rock. So the last question we have from our direct messages is, what infrastructure have you built up to ensure that Aurora Esports will meet all the expectations we've promised in the recent announcements? So I will go through the announcement and try to give some feedback on what it potentially has changed or is going to change in the future with Aurora from Go for Watch League to make these promises happen. So more events outside the usual tournament format. Similar to the Go for Watch World Cup was an experiment tournament, and I think it went pretty well. People seemed to enjoy it. The only issue, of course, was timing, but it was just like, oh, we should try to do something fun here for a final round in Overwatch 1. But I think the overall running that tournament went fairly smoothly once the timings were figured out. So we're hoping to do more stuff like that, whether it could be just a weekend tournament or other things. Separating from the U has allowed us to have more freedom that way. We don't have to work with Go for Watch, the Go for Watch team itself to get those tournaments all lined up. We can just kind of run it and have our own things going. So hoping that works. Up production value. The admin team can speak that my new stats program will up the production value quite a bit in terms of getting player stats by map or by match. I'm working closely with Trey and Fedora to improve graphics. And of course, if we get money from merchandise or whatever, we can look to invest that back into production. In terms of, I'm trying to think what would use that money for in actual production, because we just do everything for free anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
You could probably do some stuff for audio.
Hey, maybe if we get really, really big, we'll do multiple POVs with that one program.
If we get money, we can.
If we start getting $500
Maybe we'll
a
actually
month.
have the face cams working. They won't fade to black every second you try to change it.
It won't crash Booney's Discord.
Working on that, all right, man.
Something else
If there's like 3 people who use the webcam, it's good to go. There's no problems. I just can't have 12 run up at the same time.
So we're actually gonna be funding Booney's computer with the money. It's all going to his streaming PC.
I built this when I was 12, man. I'm still using it. I haven't upgraded it since. It's still running.
Oh god.
You might as well save it forever then. Let's see how long you can make it last.
It's built different.
The nuclear half-life is my Intel Core processor. All right, expanded high-quality Twitch experience with new emotes, perk rewards, goals, and more. That's pretty self-explanatory. If there are artists looking to potentially get commission for emotes, they can reach out to me.
Can we get a MAM?
No, we cannot get a MAMB. Unless someone wants to draw a MAMB, we can add MAMB.
Could be big.
What would
Maybe
that be?
a whalefish server or Twitch emote for MAMB? Like, like a little beluga whale doing a MAM dance or something?
A MAM dance.
Or we could just have like a sad-looking whale with the MAMB text and bubble letters at the bottom or something.
And an arrow in his head.
With the expanded social media presence, we have... I don't know if you're willing to announce that yet, Trey, or not, but we have something in the work for it. I think we'll leave it at that.
Is in the works.
Something is in the works. New merchandise, as we've been saying the whole time, we will be looking to make generic Aurora Esports merchandise, of course, since we're no longer with Go for Watch League and using literally Goldie Gopher, who is a copyright image in our logo, illegally. We can make merchandise and look to sell it as well to get back to the community. Start next year, more games outside Overwatch. We basically, if you trusted me to make the Overwatch League, not the Overwatch, but in this Overwatch League, I did not make Owl. But if you trust me to make this league, you can trust me to move forward with League of Legends or Valorant or whatever game we look to go into. And more. I'll leave it at and more because I can't give you exact answers on promises I haven't made yet. Is there anything else I wanted to add to anything that I listed there, or?
There was something I was gonna say, but I forgot.
Mm.
So I'm trying to remember.
Here's a good reassurance for everyone. This league wouldn't have existed without Booney.
Yeah.
You know, personally, I trust Booney to do it again, no matter whether we're called Go for Watch League or Aurora Esports.
Or Bunger.
Or Bunger.
I will
Or
not.
golf
Or Golf and
esports.
Esports.
I just wish Golf Esports made it through, man. That was the dream.
Yeah.
What the
Sorry guys, we shut it
Broccoli
down.
Esports is pretty good.
Asparagus. Such an asparagus.
Alright. We've made it through the Discord questions, so I do see Nadir with the will the site be back. The initial plan like 2 weeks ago was not to continue the website, but now as of today, we are going to bring it back, and we're going to try to expand the code base with multiple programmers. I've reached out to Steph and asked them to share the code with potentially me and some other computer science guys who work on websites for a living now. We can help them get the website update as well as add additional features. But the idea for the Aurora Esports website will be to include all of our games there eventually. So there'll be like an Overwatch tab that has teams and standings and schedules, but there'll also be League of Legends, Valorant. So it'll be kind of your one-stop shop for Aurora Esports, as well as the merch, join Discord, and etc. But yeah, so we will be looking to take that website from what it currently is and expand it for next season. So it will be back. We won't go back to the dark days of Google Sheets.
I miss those days. We had such good stats.
I remember when Jamie got upset at me one time.
Yeah,
Because
you,
she asked,
you keep
she
swapping
asked to
heroes.
help me. She asked to help me. I'm like, yeah, this one's gonna take a long time because people are responding. Jamie's like, yeah, I'll help you, and then complained after
Bro.
helping me.
Yeah, that.
Why
yeah,
did you
yeah,
swap
that
that many
tracks.
times?
Yeah, that tracks.
No, that
Yeah,
was
that
Corey.
tracks.
Wait, was that Corey? Oh
That
my
was
God.
Corey. Corey played 12 heroes in a single match.
Why?
I'm pretty
Or
sure-
plays Mystery Heroes.
Yeah,
Listen,
Corey
all
does
I
do
know
that.
is like I was in the middle of stats for like counting sleep darts for one game or for like one match. And next thing I know, the fire alarms are going off and there's a gas leak and we're out for 6 hours. And I'm like, well, that's great.
And then you blame me for it. I was like, what? You're the one that asked to
That
help.
one? That was not the same one.
Okay, well, either way. I got
The gas
boomed.
leak one was funny.
I was boomed.
It was in the middle of Hollywood, I remember.
Yeah, there will be a Google Sheet for captains with an SR calculator. So if your team runs an over SR comp, it's your fault, not ours. So
And we will be
Yay.
showing no mercy, DQing you
Literally
guys for
no
maps.
mercy.
you will be removed from the league if you run an over SR comp by 1 SR.
Also, captains, read the rulebook. You already agreed to it in the sign up.
Oh yeah. Aren't we gonna make them literally sit down with us for like
Guys-
10 minutes and tell them about the rules?
Guys, I will not. I'm not afraid to make another Kahoot for the captains. And like, if somebody scores like below a certain amount, we're gonna bonk them. Just saying.
I'm gonna purposely throw the Kahoot.
Well,
And
There we
then
go.
throwing Kahoot.
I think we've answered all the questions that we currently had in the chat as well as in the direct messages, so we'll open the floor one last time to the people in chat. If not, we'll go ahead and end this Q&A session. But
I'm still trying to think about
I
the
will-
one thing I thought, but my brain is not working.
I will give the people one more minute. Once we hit 40 minutes of live time, and if there's not another question, we will end the session.
Did I mention something that we should talk about in admin chat? I don't remember. Discord stuff. I said that. We talked about reopening signups for a day. Yeah. How do we want to do SRs next season?
Your system that you had was the one that I was like gold or plat 5 is like worth 2.5 or something like that, and just keep it going up. The issue is it would overlap, I think, with like what Diamond.
No, no, no. I'm
1
saying
and
for
10.
future seasons.
Future seasons.
How are we gonna do like
No.
minimum game requirements?
Oh yeah,
That
that
was
as well.
the idea that we've been having. Because we feel like initially off placements, you're obviously going to be a lot lower than what you normally would be. Like we're seeing it now, like Randy is not diamond. I'm sorry, guys.
Unless.
So the current idea, I guess, is to have like a minimum game requirement. So like say it's like mandatory you play like X amount of games before we allow you to play in the next season. Which keep in mind, that's not going to be for a while, right? So you'll have like plenty of time to get your games in and everything.
I have like 4 months to play. What are we to come up with? In terms of
35
games.
games. Actually, what is the minimum requirement we'd have to do to get accurate? Because like I played like 40 games and I'm still like
I
diamond
have
after
no
winning
clue.
I
those
think
games.
I do not
I'm
know.
hoping it gets better for next seasons.
Yeah, because it's gonna be because obviously there's people that don't like to play comp, but
Me.
I'm just gonna use Paige for an example. Because they are very nice. You know, she doesn't like playing comp. However, if we were to say, oh yeah, you don't have to play comp, we'll just use your Overwatch 1 SR, right? How does that work if someone grinded the game, you know, and climbed? We can't just be
Yeah.
like, yeah, we have to do different for this person. Or the other option that I suggested, I should choose everyone's SRs.
No, I think I should.
No, me.
I think you should pick teams too, Troy. I think you should just draft everybody.
I mean,
Yeah.
all I'm saying in last season, season 5.5 Go for Watch League, I wrote down the form that admin should pick teams.
You also voted for double Elam.
Yeah.
After telling me you
and it
didn't.
worked out great. That's all I'm saying. Double Elam was perfect.
Yeah.
That's why we're not doing it again this season.
Ever.
Ever.
We're never doing that again. No, please.
Actually, for a Rocket League tournament, that's totally happening.
No, the Paladin tournament.
Do we want to ask people about name for the Overwatch?
That is a
thing?
good point. So we need your help, community. This is your time. You know, we told Jess to come with all your best names for the Overwatch section of Aurora Esports. What our name should be. The current admin choice is the Aurora Overwatch Clash. But we need some better names. We've right now creative juices. You know, 62, 64 names
It was
for the league.
50, 54.
Can't be that smart.
72 names.
A
Wait,
1,000
no,
names.
it's 55. All I'm saying, right? One name that wasn't included was the Boonie Watch League.
Yo, that
Oh,
name's
yeah, that was
goated.
one.
That
Suggestion
name
was
is
never
goated.
included.
Game is
That
name
is
goated.
true. The first name he came up with was the Boonie Watch League, and that was not included in the admin. So
I
it
believe
didn't
we-
get the feedback group. Therefore, the feedback group wasn't asked. Therefore, the admins have trolled,
Yep.
and we
Whatever.
rigged the results.
Thank you,
Fanboy Esports.
Derek. Thank you,
That was
Derek.
pretty good.
Thank you.
We can have the
I
Catboy
can't
Simeon
wait
be
to
the
never
face
get
of
a
the league.
sponsorship opportunity with that name.
What do you mean? When they see Simeon as the Catboy, be great.
We're gonna get the wrong type of sponsorships, mate.
Money is money, man.
Championship, we could do something like Aurora Overwatch Championship. However, I
One
personally like
idea-
Clash better, but that
Yeah.
is an option.
One
So
idea that Yeet had was the Aurora Overwatch division.
Division
Well,
is okay, I think.
Okay,
So-
but we're gonna have divisions inside the division.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Overwatch Championship.
Oh wait, yo, we gotta restart the
Aurora
Q&A.
Overwatch series.
Oh yeah.
Oh no.
Oh, the
Yeah.
Koala King just got off, man. He missed the part where we said we're gonna make a League of Legends league.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Oh wow, those do not split well
Nice.
at all.
I think that's the name. The Aurora Overwatch Class, Aurora Overwatch Championship, Aurora Overwatch Division.
Yeah.
Auk Aud.
Auga Overwatch League.
So it's just Aud. That's that.
Or we could do the
That's pretty
LK87L.
Get
Hear me-
a real
Hear me out.
sponsorship.
We just name it Altitude, and then there we go.
We name it Altitude Esports Mock Overwatch League.
Exactly.
Or we name it, I got a good one. The Overwatch League.
Oh,
Huh?
The
Aurora-
Coca-Cola Overwatch League, sponsored by Google, is our full name.
Aurora Overwatch Contenders.
The People's Democratic Republic of Booney. That's awesome. We did forget to mention Bonesy's suggestions of Booney's Big Bonanza. Of course, very, very epic.
The Aurora Bonanza.
That's for the in-person events that we'll do. The in-person bowling tournament.
Ooh, I love bowling.
Booney's Bowling Bonanza.
Oh my god.
That goes crazy.
We got to get some shirts with Booney's Big Booty Bowlers.
Is it? Is that a team name for next season?
I don't think Corey's come up with a team name yet.
He still isn't yet.
Everybody at Corey, make sure to
Can
tell
we
him
all
to do
please go
Booney's
Corey
Big
and be
Booty
like, "Hey."
Bowlers.
You got one yet? Because I've asked him multiple times.
Aurora World Overwatch Official Game Association.
Oh,
Awooga.
for sure. I respect it, Adam. A fantastic addition. Aurora Overwatch. He's waiting all stream to put that one out. 45 minutes. He's had copy paste ready to put
took
down.
him
Yo,
a while
after
to
I
think of
like
that one.
after we like announced the name, I was like, I hope Rory changes his name to that. At least in Discord. I was really hoping for it.
I spent up.
Bro, how is he hearing us? That's my question. He's watching without audio.
Corey also could go with the Tokyo Tentacle Monsters for his team name.
Oh goodness.
Marco approved that one last season.
Marco did a lot of things.
Marco approved a lot of ideas, like
Yeah, Marco
Dabuila.
approved a lot of things he probably shouldn't have, to be
Hey, no,
honest.
no Marco slander here. Anyways.
Yeah, like me being an admin. Well, who thought of that? What the heck?
Now he's just here by default. I don't want to change his roles in Discord.
Sign up, Scuba.
Anyway, I think that's going to be it for us here at the Q&A session. We've gone into some ramblings, but we will take those suggestions of the Aurora Overwatch Division Championship
Do
into
we want to do
consideration.
just a all server poll for the name, or do we want to just?
No, I don't trust them.
That's fair.
Make Overwatch, make an Overwatchy face, something like that. Make tournament, make Overwatchy face. Pretty awesome.
Yeah. What if we named the Overwatch division of the tournament the Gopher Watch League?
Yo,
Whoa.
yo.
Oh, so awesome!
I don't think
Chills.
anyone said that.
I said that a while ago.
No, you didn't.
I'm pretty sure I did.
'Cause I don't remember it.
I'm
I
pretty,
thought
I'm
somebody-
pretty,
I
I'm
thought
pretty
somebody
sure
put it in-
I'm pretty sure I said that when we were playing Paladins Ranked.
No, somebody put it in chat. I think Nudger might have said that earlier. Like, what if we just named it the Overwatch League?
Yo, that's such a name that exists. We would copyright ourselves.
But yeah, that'll be it for us here. Thank everybody for tuning in. Hopefully, we answered some questions for you, as well as that's really all we did. We just answered questions. So hopefully, everybody's looking forward to next season. Remember, the signups are going to open up after this meeting yet again, and they'll close tomorrow, Friday at 11 p.m. CST. So if you have friends or are a player yourself in the chat who got a sniff of Overwatch 2 and was like, wow, this game is actually good, or something like, oh wow, I don't have anything to do outside of this league, you can sign up if you forgot to do so. So come on in, and we'll welcome you back with open arms. Anyway,
Can I say
you
something
gotta try.
quickly?
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, for people that are rewatching or weren't here at the time, watching the stream bod, whatever, feel free to DM any of the admins questions. We will, ask an admin chat if they are relevant, and not something that can just be answered by one person. And then when we make our next announcement, if they're information that we feel like everyone should know, or non-personalized questions, basically, we will add them to the announcement, just so people get more feedback on that one. As well as, I was gonna say something about Discord or something.
I will point out real quick. I did
channel point
reopen.
rewards.
I did reopen the Booney cosplay stream. So if you have channel points, you can send them that.
Also,
way.
feel free to DM. I'll take DMs about this if we want to just do that. About any potential channel point rewards on the channel that we want to do. Now that we're split from the U, we can do significantly more with that. So any fun things, any just random, make the how we had in the past, make the casters include a word in the commentary or anything like that, you know, just random fun things, feel free to add them to or send me a DM with those and we can look on getting more stuff added. Trey Meow reward, please. That's free. What do you mean?
Leary just said it. I can take the VOD, cut the audio, and just have a Trey Meowda MP3. that'll be our subscriber notification.
Redeem Meow.
We good? Oh wait, we good to end?
I think we're good to end.
I
We've been
think we're
rambling,
good.
but I think we got everything. Bye, everybody. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Stay safe. Stay healthy. Have a great rest of your evening. Bye, bye.
Ah!
Bye, guys.